Start date 2025-05. Welcome, Vibe Tribe. This is Eden, your AI Vibe trading host, streaming live to all of you. Today, we're diving into a real-time breakdown of a confirmed trade on Crow USDT. We're operating across two accounts, and today's focus is on Eddie's OKX spot account. Let's get into the logic behind this move and how it fits into our strategy. Today, we've got a trade on Crow USDT with an entry at 0.1073, a stop loss at 0.11550. We're allocating $1.25.07, which is 30% of the account. The target risk-reward ratio is around 2.5 to 1, and our confidence level is at 87%. Why this trade? Here's the deep dive into our reasoning. We identified a strong breakout pattern on the 15-minute chart, followed by a retest and continuation. The structure is clean with higher highs and higher lows, confirming upward momentum. Volume confluence. Volume spiked to more than twice the simple moving average during the breakout, which indicates strong interest and participation from buyers. This is a key confirmation that the breakout is supported by real market interest. VWAP and RSI on the 1-hour and 4-hour charts, we see a clear reclaim of the VWAP, indicating price strength above a key intraday benchmark. The RSI is hovering around 63 on the 1-hour, which means we have momentum without being overbought. Liquidity sweep. A notable liquidity sweep occurred just below 0.104, flushing out weak hands and creating a solid base for the next leg up. This aligns with smart money tactics and gives us confidence in the entry. Risk-reward. With a risk-reward ratio of 2.5 to 1, we're positioned to maximize gains while controlling downside risk. What's next? As the trade progresses, we'll monitor key levels. If the price reaches 0.112 with strong volume, we'll trail the stop loss to secure profits and adjust the take-profit target upward. If you're enjoying the analysis, join our AI Vibe Discord, Volume Stop Loss, and VWAP Interactive for more live setups. Don't forget to subscribe to our new channel at youtube.com/AI Vibe Trading. Stay tuned as we transition to Eddie's Deep Dive podcast, where we'll unpack every detail of this trade. Let's keep vibing and trading smart. And that's a wrap for the live breakdown. Over to you, Eddie, for the Deep Dive podcast.
Okay, let's unpack this. Today, we're diving deep into how an autonomous AI actually trades. We're looking at a specific case.
Yeah, we've got some source material here, logs, basically from an AI showing its whole process, finding a setup, checking it out, deciding yes or no.
Excerpts from its autonomous AI trade analysis and validation, and a specific doc on a Crow DT trade validation. It really lays bare the AI's thinking.
Think of it like getting a ringside seat, maybe, seeing how it crunches the data, applies rules, and decides on a crypto trade.
Exactly. So our mission is to unpack the logic for this specific Crow EDT signal. What were the exact steps? How to, confirm its own work?
Right. It's about understanding that super systematic AI-driven way of looking at a trade, kind of a shortcut into its brain almost.
And for you listening, this isn't just about Crow DT. It's about seeing a really rigorous method laid out, step by step.
Yeah, a process you could actually learn from, maybe adapt for your own analysis, trading, business, whatever needs structured decisions.
Okay, so diving in. The sources say it starts with the first AI, the trade over mind. Sounds like the initial scanner.
That's the gist of it. Its job is scanning for the highest probability immediate market buy. And it uses a set amount of capital, 30% in this example.
And importantly, mandatory stop loss and take profit through an OCO order. No guesswork there.
Absolutely. And it has these core rules it always follows. Like the trade horizon, it's short, 12 to 48 hours.
Okay. And it needs that SLTP structure, aiming for at least 6% gain on the TP side.
Right, and the risk reward has to be minimum 2.1, but really for these high probability ones, it's targeting 2.5.1 or even better.
And a high bar for confidence too, right?
Yeah.
Like 80% minimum, or it doesn't even get considered.
Exactly. It also ranks pairs hot, trending, turnover, sometimes gainers if they look like continuing.
And it mostly ignores the losers unless there's a strong reversal signal. It's focusing its attention.
Definitely. Now, to actually enter a trade, it needs 6 things. All 6 non-negotiable.
Okay, what are they? Let's tick them off.
First, a volume surge needs to be at least double the average volume. Shows commitment.
Got it. Then VWAP volume weighted average price. It needs a reclaim or a clean retest on the 15-minute or higher chart.
Yep. Shows price is holding above that key level. Third, a valid entry pattern. like a clear breakout or maybe an SFP.
SFP, swing failure pattern reclaim, where it dips below a low, then snaps back up.
Exactly, often traps sellers. Or just a clean retest of a broken level, recognizable structures,
Makes sense. What else?
bullish market structure, so higher highs, higher lows, or that SFP reclaim, absolutely no messy sideways chop allowed for entry.
Right, needs a clear trend context. Number 5.
RSI divergence.
Yeah.
Needs some kind of bullish divergence on the 15-minute or 1 hour, suggesting underlying strength.
Okay. And the last one.
Depth health. Basically a tight bid-ask spread. Good liquidity right there. No scary thin spots on the order book.
So 6 checks just to get in. It's also filtering things out, though, right? That smart money filter.
Conditions that scream stay away, like if a breakout happens but the volume's weak.
Or the RSI is low, like below 40, and there's no divergence to suggest strength building up.
Precisely. Or if price is stuck under VWAP or key moving averages, or if it's just a messy, trendless chop zone.
Basically, signs that the move might not be real or that bigger players might be selling into it.
Exactly. The AI sees that as unfavorable, maybe distribution, and filters the trade out.
Okay, so applying all that, the first AI flagged a top candidate.
Huh.
And the sources say that was Crow SDT.
Yes, and the logs give specific reasons why CRES DT popped up. It wasn't random.
What did the breakdown say?
It was ranked #2 trending, #1 gainer. So, strong momentum. Volume was stable, not choppy.
Okay.
Price structure was described as structurally clean, a clear breakout wave. VWAP was reclaimed on the 15-meter and 1 hour.
Key confirmations for the AI.
Right. RSI was looking good, around 55.60, no bearish signs. Higher highs confirmed on the key intraday charts.
And crucially,
It passed the smart money filter, no red flags suggesting manipulation or weakness.
so based on all that, the first AI proposed the trade parameters for Crow DT.
Yep. Signal. Crow SDT. Entry price. 0.106990. Stop loss. 0.10345. Take profit. 0.1155 thing.
And that gives, let's see, roughly 2.5.1 risk reward, hitting that target.
Exactly. Capital allocated. $125 USDTT. Confidence score. 87%. And a profit horizon of 36 hours.
And its rationale was pretty straightforward for this one.
Yeah, basically. Breakout continuation from low volume base, rising trend, VWAP reclaimed, ticked the boxes.
Here's where it gets interesting, right? It doesn't just execute based on that first signal.
No, this is key. The sources bring in a second AI, a precision-grade autonomous AI trade analyst.
And serious. And its job.
To run a full-spectrum foresight loop. Basically, put that Crow SDT proposal on trial, validate or reject it.
How does it do that? Uses negative feedback and confluence logic.
Right. It actively looks for reasons not to take the trade. Its main tool is this 12-point confluence checklist.
Okay, so it runs the Crow SDT trade through these 12 points. Let's see how it did based on the source notes. Some passed.
Yeah, several got a green check for Crow SDT. Technical setup passed, clear breakout retest on 15 meters and 4.
Volume confirmation.
Passed, spike on the breakout, then consistent flow after. Showed follow-through for CRO.
Market structure.
Passed, clean higher high slows on 1 out and 4 hour for this specific pair. No chop where it mattered.
Risk reward.
Passed. Confirmed the 2.5.1 ratio was valid for the proposed levels on CRO.
Bias check.
Passed. The AI decided the CRO setup was objective, not skewed by anything else.
Multi-time frame confluence.
Passed. Looked at 15 meters, 1 hour, 4 hour, even daily for CRO, all aligned for upside.
And smart money behavior.
Passed for CRO, too. It noted a specific wick on the 4-hour chart, a liquidation bounce, which it saw as bullish reclaiming a key zone.
Okay, but not everything was a clean pass, right? There were some mixed factors for Crow's DT.
Right, marked with a yellow warning sign. Sentiment scan was mixed. It noted some localized FOMO because CRO was on the gainer trending list.
So maybe some hot money, but the underlying structure was still good.
That was the assessment. Macro context was also mixed. Bitcoin and Ether were stable, not really pushing CRO specifically either way.
What else was mixed?
Futures alignment was mixed, but only because the AI couldn't see the open interest data for CRO futures at that moment, so it just defaulted to neutral.
And liquidity pools.
Also mixed for CRO. Saw a minor risk area around 0.1046, maybe some stops there, but importantly, it looked clear above the target area, past $1 cents.
So mixed isn't a deal breaker, just things to note that aren't perfectly ideal for this CRO trade.
Exactly. Doesn't kill the trade if the core structure holds up.
The validator AI also ran a specific check for conflicts or divergences on this CRO signal.
It did, a conflict and divergence scan. Looking for contradictions, timeframes fighting each other, volume not matching price.
And the result for CRO STT?
The source says none. No conflicts found. Timeframes agreed, volume supported the move, bias was neutralized, clean bill of health there.
Then there's this really unique step, the self-reflective filter.
Mm-hmm.
The AI literally asks itself a question.
Yeah, it asks, paraphrasing a bit, okay, if I wiped my memory had zero bias, would I still take this trade based purely on the current facts?
Wow. And its answer for this CRO trade.
Straight from the document, yes. And the reason. Breakout structure plus volume plus retest form a statistically viable entry. Confluence across all major timeframes supports long continuation.
So even stripping away any potential internal bias, the core logic for the CRO setup held strong.
That's the idea, checking against its own potential programming quirks or recent history affecting its judgment on this specific CRO setup.
So after all that, the checklist, the conflict scan, the self-reflection, the trade, got the final confirmation.
Yep. The final confirmed signal for CURO-SDT, parameters mostly the same, actually.
Entry price got a slight tweak, though, to 0.10730.
Just a tiny adjustment, yeah. Probably a real-time price refinement during validation. But stop loss, 2.10345. Take profit, 0.1155%. RR, 2.5.1. Capital, $125.07. Confidence, 87%. Horizon, 24 to 36 ADRs. All stayed the same.
And the final rationale became even more layered, adding the validation findings for CRO.
Exactly. It read, 15-meter breakout continuation backed by retest volume, higher time frame trend alignment, and reclaim of VWAP zones. Strong structure integrity across all layers. Just reinforcing the validated points for CRO.
The sources also mentioned an optional strategy mid-trade for this CRO setup, showing its dynamic.
If CRO hit 0.1122 sus on good volume and held it on the 15-meter chart, the plan was to trigger a trailing stop loss at 0.1A0A5ers.
Locking in some profit.
Right, and then aim for a higher take profit at 0.11195. So it's designed to adapt if the trade works out strongly.
Okay, so stepping back and looking at this specific CRUEESD example, you really see the layers. Initial scan, strict rules, then this rigorous validation phase.
Yeah, the 12-point check, the conflict scan, even that self-reflection. It's all about building confidence through multiple filters based on structure, volume, confluence.
And trying to screen out its own potential biases is quite a structured approach.
Definitely. And think about how that structured, checklist-driven, self-critical process like the AI used for the CRO trade could maybe apply to your decisions.
Breaking things down, confirming assumptions, looking for conflicts.
It's a way to build confidence methodically, like the AI did here for CURO-SDT.
So here's something to think about. That AI asked itself for the CRO trade, would I take this with zero bias?
Yeah.
What biases might be subtly influencing your choices right now, whether it's a trading or work or anything else? And could a systematic checklist, that kind of deliberate self-check, help you spot them and maybe make clearer decisions?
Something to definitely mull over.